I dated a guy that says he used to be part of a cult that worship aliens. One of the strangest date conversations I had was with this guy that we will call Ned. Ned and I were hitting it off, exchanging stories, telling facts about ourselves. But when I asked him what's the weirdest thing he had done before, he answered, worshipping aliens. I giggled at first thinking he was just being a dork, but his face told me that he wasn't kidding at all. I apologized and I asked him to elaborate. He said that ever since he was a kid, he and his whole family worshipped extraterrestrial beings. As a kid, like anyone else I assume, he didn't have any questions about their religion. It's just a thing that they do. But when he became a teenager, he began to inspect more closely what they believed in. He recalled pretending to believe in Jesus because his classmates and friends were mostly Christians and only thought of aliens as a fictional thing. Of course, he asked his parents about it and said that Jesus and Christianity don't oppose their beliefs because according to his parents, Jesus is an avatar of their extraterrestrial deities. At this point, I was still finding this amusing. So I asked some questions like what do they do when they worship the aliens, and he said, once a month, they would hike and convene on a forest clearing where they take turns holding this metallic disc engraved with alien texts. He said that they have to feel the remnant cosmic energy residing on the plate so they can communicate directly to their deities. Sometimes, one member of their group will shake and speak in tongues and they would jump in joy. Basically, the whole point of their beliefs is that we owe everything we have to these alien entities and we should praise them. He said these deities are not jealous gods and was okay to free thinking. Meaning if others would rather believe in other gods, they are fine with it. But they are not okay with people who were consciously choosing to be ignorant. Like they were presented with facts, debunked their beliefs, and yet remained to hold their opinion because of pride or other personal reason. That's very disrespectful according to Ned. The next question I asked was, what made him quit? When his sister disappeared, he answered. That's when his whole belief system shattered. He began to have more doubts about what or who they worship. He said, he was about 14 or 15 that time when his sister disappeared and he asked his parents what happened to her and they said she was chosen by their gods and ascended to a different plane. As magical as it sounded, he had some doubts because it happened so abruptly. And one day, at school, someone slipped a letter in his locker. It was from her sister saying she was okay and she left town to be away and she was sorry for leaving him behind. She told him that none of what they believe is true and he should get away as soon as he can. He was so sure that the handwriting was hers. The cult's core belief backfired on them since Ned was presented with facts and so, he must change his opinion accordingly. So when he got old enough to work, he abandoned his parents and lived normally after. It's so weird, right? I don't know if this story is just plain funny or creepy, but if you have questions about his cult, feel free to ask below. I still have contact with him, wink emoji.